Hi, everyone. Welcome to the It's Learning Academy remote learning webinar series. This is webinar number 3 for the day, plans part 1. If you missed our earlier webinars, we started with navigating the basics and then adding courses and participants. And those of you that joined us for those two, y'all had some great questions. So thank you very much for being engaged in those. Right now, we are going to talk about the plans tool. We have the introduction in this webinar, and then immediately following, we dive a little bit deeper into how to utilize the plans to actually deliver or facilitate instruction for our students, particularly in this time of remote learning, where our students have to be a little more self-engaged, self-motivated, and self-directed. So the plans tool can certainly help a little bit with that. And then our final webinar for the day is adding video and audio resources to lessons. You can visit our website, our remote learning webinar website, which we do have the link in the chat box. You could register for any of these. We will be conducting the same 5 webinar series again tomorrow. And even if these times do not fit into your busy schedule these days, please go ahead and register. We will follow up with you by giving you a link to the recorded webinars, whether you attend the live sessions or just register and you cannot make it. Either way, we will follow up with you and give you the link to the recorded webinars. So we are going to get started in just a moment. Also wanted to let you know that this is the website. Please do not hesitate to come back to this website. We will be adding some future webinars during our remote learning journey. So keep checking back because we will be adding more webinars in the next few weeks. So check back and see what other fun stuff we have coming up soon. All right, so now is plans part 1. We will get started with a quick little video, and then we will take any questions. We'll dive into the live site, take any questions, and have some live demos if you need that. So don't hesitate to ask questions in the questions tab, and we will get to those questions as soon as possible. If for some reason you have questions after the live webinars or going back and watching the recordings, we've also put our email in the chat box, briefings@itslearning.com. So don't hesitate to give us any feedback or ask us any questions you might have at briefings@itslearning.com. All right, let's get started with our plans part 1.
Plans, how to create a plan. To begin, click the Plans tab on the course toolbar. Plans can be created either by unit or topic or by time period. First, we will demonstrate by unit or topic. Click the green button that says Add Topic. Fill in the title and click Save. Now click Add Plan. Give your plan a title, a date range. When adding a description, you can simply type in the box or click the pencil in the top right, and this will open our rich text editor. Now let's add a plan that is organized by time period. We're still going to click Add Topic. Our plan title will be the date span. Now we will add a plan for each day of the week and its corresponding individual date. Add your lesson description for each day of the week. Now you're ready to begin your instruction.
All right, so now we can dive into those questions you might have, and I'll be more than happy to demonstrate that in our live site. So please make sure you're typing in those questions into your question box.
Andrea, I'm not seeing any questions yet, but I do have one that gets asked pretty frequently. How might these plans look different in elementary than secondary?
Yeah, absolutely. So the plans, obviously, um, you can have the day of the week, but you'll notice that these topics, I can actually put a topic for math, a topic for science, a topic for social studies, a topic for reading, for phonics, and then we can have each day of the week under each one of those and the same date. So we can have the same date, and then when the students log into the overview page, they will actually see math, what they're supposed to do, language arts, what they're supposed to do, science, what they're supposed to do. It actually chunks it really nicely for them. So I would use the topic bars to chunk those into the different content areas that the elementary self-contained teachers would need to teach. Some other things that I know that they've tried to do is to have Monday and then add a box. Instead of just one description box, add a description box for math, add a description. So you can add multiple boxes here. That gets the lesson plan gets kind of long. So you just kind of play around with it and see which one works best for you. But our lesson plan tool can very easily be modified to your needs by going up here to the ellipses or the 3 dots in the top right, and then going to plan settings. And those settings will let you add different boxes, rename them, do all kinds of personalization. So it does not have to be this standard lesson plan template. You can actually modify the template to fit your needs.
Can you please explain the same info for team taught middle school?
So team taught middle school. So you have one teacher that teaches the same groups of students on separate days. That's the way I understand team taught. So what you would do is you would just do the same type of lesson plans. And then you might have a teacher box or a note over here to the side. Like we could add another box that says teacher notes, and then we could talk about who is teaching which lesson on which day. Or if team taught means that you have an entire team of teachers that teach the same material to different students, then what I would do is I would have a collaborative course. This is where adding a course would come in handy. And I could add basically a 7th grade English course, and only the teachers are in that course, and we can actually collaborate together, add our own lesson plans, and then we can copy the lesson plans out to our other courses. So we all have the same lesson plan, and we are teaching it to different groups of students. So those are the two definitions that I know of team teaching. So if I did not explain that very well, please answer a follow or ask a follow-up question. I'll be more than happy to elaborate a little bit more.
As a follow-up to that, there's 4 teachers, each teaching a different subject.
Okay, so what I would do is I would have that collaborative course for teachers where you have one topic for math, one topic for, reading, one topic for science, one topic for social studies, whatever the 4 contents are. Each teacher develops her own lesson plans. And then you could actually do that in the courses with students, or you could do that in a collaborative course and then copy those into the courses with students. It really kind of depends on where your students are in that course. Is there one course with all the students and 4 teachers, or are there 4 different courses? So if there's one course with 4 teachers and all the students, I would do my lesson planning in that course, and I would just have each teacher have their own topic bar. If I have different courses, 4 courses, each with one teacher and all students, then I would use a collaborative course like this so that we could all kind of see each other's lesson plans and, see if there's opportunity for cross-curricular opportunities, cross-curricular teaching. But then I would copy this into my course, my own individual course with students. So it kind of depends on how the students' courses are set up.
Okay. I am a bilingual teacher, so some students are fluent in English and others are not. Is there a translation function to help them out within this section?
So actually the translation that I use, particularly for our bilingual students, because they need that flip back and forth between English and Spanish. You could certainly come up here to the settings, and in your settings, you have the opportunity to customize its learning and change the entire system into your home language. But if you don't want it to be a permanent change, you want to be able to fluctuate back and forth, I really like the Chrome. Let me flip over to Chrome here real quick. I really like the Chrome extension, the Google Translate extension, because then all I do is translate this page. 1 second. And I can pick any of these languages and it actually translates it for me. And then I can always read this in my home language and then click show original and then read it in English. And that very quick back and forth actually with our bilingual students helps with that language acquisition a little bit more. So my preference is actually to use the Google Translate Chrome extension in Chrome.
Okay, and then this is kind of a comment. In addition to what you had already explained previously, we only see within our students and our classes. So sharing within our school and subject is like non-existent. Is that some kind of a setting that administration would have to do, or?
So I think I would have again a follow-up question. If you go to courses, do you have the green plus button? Because if you do, that's where I would add your other teachers to be able to collaborate and share in a collaborative course like that. If you don't have that green plus button, then that is definitely a district setting. Some other options you might try is going to the calendar tab. And then if you go to plans, the plans tab right here, you can actually search for other participants' lesson plans, and those lesson plans will show up. And then you can be able to take a look at those. So I can actually search for other people's lesson plans. So try that, but again, this is a district site setting, so this is kind of optional as to whether or not the district has this portion open.
Huh. The same question is coming from the same person. She can see outside her district, but not within.
What information is she seeing outside her district? Lesson plans? Shared lesson plans? As if that's the case, then I would,
Yes.
okay, then I would say that that is a district setting. So if you would like to email us at briefings@itslearning.com and let us know what district you're from, we can maybe either show you some workarounds that are specific to your district settings or see what else we can do to try to help you to get that collaboration going with your other team members.
We still have time for additional questions if anybody has questions that haven't been answered yet.
I know one thing that she can try. Just remembered the setting. In your lesson plans, in the 3 dots, you have the ability to share your lesson plans. And if this is open, you can try to have you and your colleagues click that, share your plans, and then go ahead and set your campus or district, whichever one you're comfortable with sharing or wanting to share with, and then click save. And then once you do that, I should be able to go to the same 3 dots, and instead of sharing, I can find a topic or a plan, and that way we'll be able to let's see if I can find a plan. I got to know a keyword to search for. There you go. So you can see I can definitely get you know, plans outside of my district, but if you have somebody who has shared plans within your district, it would show up here at the top. So that's another way of being able to share your planner so that your colleagues can at least kind of see, or y'all can kind of collaborate through that.
Okay. How or where should the student look for daily work?
Great question. Thank you. Thank you. So what I do is I come into my lesson plan and I have a date on my lesson plan. And so we're going to change this so that we can see this on the overview page, because if you have your dates in your lesson plans, when your student logs on, they automatically land on this overview page, and your lesson plans are right here. So you see everything that has that date range, and it's right here on the front page. What I like about the student view, I'll show you very quickly. If we take a look at the student view, is they have a little play button or start button. And when they click this button, your lesson plans actually go into a student playlist. And so everything that you have put in your lesson plans, the kiddos just navigate through one after another. And so all of those resources that you've added, all of those things, oh goodness, all of those things you've added to your lesson plans, they show up in that great little playlist. This is the best feature for me, this little student start button, to keep our students on track and to kind of guide them through our lesson while we're doing our remote learning. Because that little playlist is generated from your plans, and it is exactly in the order. So it will tell you the plan name, it will show the students the description, it will tell them the standards they are learning, and then anything in this box, it goes in this order. So whatever order I would normally teach my class in, whatever resources I would normally do with my students, I just upload them in here in order, and the kiddos can just flip through one resource after another, and they can actually stay on track that way and still get that same step-by-step instruction. And then hopefully they can kind of move through that, and then you can kind of follow up with them and facilitate a little question and answer session to make sure that they understood. But I really love this little playlist that's generated by putting resources in this box and adding a date. I hope that helped.
Can you also show us how to move plans up and down on play order, and what play order is the best way?
Absolutely. So obviously I think the play order the best way is by date. But some people don't necessarily want to use dates. They want to kind of progress through units and not have a date set on them. So you could also just click and drag the plans. If it's within the same topic, you can just drag them. If it's within another topic, you can then just drag it. It's not going to be nice to me today, is it? You can click and drag it to the other topic. Let's see. There it is. I can move to a different topic right there. So click and drag within the same topic, click and then move to a different topic. Once I do this, it will give me the option of which topic I want to put it in, and then I can click and drag it in an order within that topic.
Another quick question. I think this pertains to what you're just talking about. So when we use the add button, when do we use the add button?
When you're adding a brand new plan, because when you jump into your courses, you won't have anything, more than likely. Some districts do push out lesson plan templates, but more than likely you won't have anything. So you will need to add a topic so that you can add your topic bar and then add a plan. And your plan is either going to be your unit or your plan is going to be your day of the week, depending on how you want to organize your lesson plans. So your topic could be the week, and then your plan could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Honestly, for me right now in this remote learning, this is kind of the way I think that students would stay on track a little bit more. Unless you have, like my kiddos district, they have a week span. My students are supposed to do, in their remote learning journey, they're supposed to do everything in this lesson plan within 1 week. So if that's the case, I would do a topic, and then my date span would be the week. Okay, so I would add this one plan for the whole week. And then I would add a new plan for the next week. I would give the topic we were talking about, and then my date range would be the next week. Okay, so I would add a plan when I was adding a new week. Okay, so you can add a plan when you add a new week, you can add a plan when you add a new unit, or you can add a plan when you add a new day.
Okay. If our kids are using iOS, tablets, or phones, will all this still be navigatable?
Absolutely. The only thing that I think you might have some issues with is in our test tool, we are in the process of redesigning our test. And I will show you real quick. When you're adding questions in the test tool, these interactive questions down here, these three, the matching, the drag to order, and the hotspot, still run off Flash currently. So even if you're on a PC, you will need to make sure that Flash is enabled on your web browser, but on an iOS, these will not work because, as we know, iOS devices do not run or do not recognize Flash at all. So you want to make sure that if your students are on iOS devices, do not use these three question types right here. Otherwise, everything else in our system is compatible with iOS, Android, PCs, Windows 10, anything like that.
We have another minute or so that we can answer additional questions if anybody has anything further.
All righty, so it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So I just want to remind everybody again, if they go to the chat box, they will get the website for our It's Learning Remote Learning webinar series. We will be updating this website as we design and get the dates to deliver more remote learning webinars. So check this site periodically because we'll be updating it with new webinars. We also are doing the same 5-part webinar again tomorrow. So if you missed part of it or today's times don't fit into your schedule for all 5, you can always jump on tomorrow. or register. And even if you do not attend, we will send you a link. Whether you attend or whether you don't attend, we'll send you a link to the recorded webinars so that you can watch them at your convenience. And at any time you have questions or feedback, you have ideas for future webinars, please do not hesitate to contact us at briefings.itslearning.com. And we hope everybody is safe and healthy, and we look forward to talking to you again on one of our future webinars. So I hope everybody has a great day.